do you think it takes to be a good leader?
To be a good leader, um, you have to realize you don't know it all. Okay? And like I said before, listen to folks. Um, Always try to be a good role model. If you expect folks to do certain things and act a certain way, you should be able to do those same things yourself. I wouldn't want to ask anybody to do something that I would not do myself. Also realize that in order to get a class or a team or a platoon in the military to do something well, a lot of different people have to be able to do a lot of different things. Okay, and you have to be able to understand that each person, whatever they do, is very important for that class or that team or that platoon, or whatever you do well. And you try to make sure you try to get all those folks being happy, and that's hard to do, right? You like something different than what you like, and so even though everybody might like things different, you got to try to find that thing that everybody says that we all want to work towards. And that's really hard to do, extremely hard to do. But when you're able to do that, those are the best teams, the best class, or the best platoon, or whatever organization's out there.
Why did you decide to coach at Wild Lake High School wrestling team?
I had been in the corporate world for 29 years, and I wanted to get back into the sport of wrestling, and I really enjoyed working with kids. And a friend of mine told me that there's a school up in Columbia, Maryland, that you would love, to be a part of their wrestling program. I said, nah. So he kept talking to me, and so he made me agree to meet with the athletic director, Mr. Parnell, Vince Parnell, and then he introduced me to the wrestling coach of Wild Lake, Asmar Hagler. And I really liked Asmar Hagler because he really believed that he wanted to be there for the wrestlers. He really believed in education being a top priority, which I feel is one of the top priorities. And wrestling is just being a bonus. I view the same thing. And he wanted to try to help folks who wanted to make themselves better, And even if people get in trouble, he wanted to be able to help them as well. And I was really excited about what he believed in. And I said I want to be able to be a part of that and help him out. And so I got a chance to meet your brother, and you ever wrestling family?
No.
No, okay. But I was excited about the kids, and I've been there now 3 years, and I'll be back next year as well.
Did you ever imagine when you were a kid that you would win an Olympic medal?
Nope. I didn't really start thinking about the Olympics till sophomore year in high school. I played soccer and baseball as a little kid, and never heard of wrestling other than the stuff you see on TV. And then I used to do wrestling with my buddies. You know how you wrestle with your buddies and you twist their arm, they say, I give, and you try to pin them, you choke them. I used to do that, and then I got beat by my next door neighbor in the 9th grade. And I asked him, man, what you do to me, man? And so he told me he learned a move called a switch. I said, what was a switch? And I said, how'd you learn that? He said, high school wrestling team. So I went out for the team, and I didn't do very well at the beginning, but by my sophomore year, my wrestling coach told me he thought I had a shot of winning a scholarship to go to college. So I just asked him, is that the best thing you can do in wrestling? He said, no, you can become a national champion. I said, well, is that the best you can do in wrestling? He said, no, you can become an Olympic champion or a world's champion. I said, what is that? So he explained to me what it was, and then I said, that's what I'm going to do. So I started going to my buddy and said, hey, buddy, I'm going to go to the Olympics. You know what they said? He thinks he's going to the Olympics. Everybody was laughing at me, And I wasn't sure I was going to go there either. But 12 years later, I was standing on the medal platform with the medal. So I firmly believe that anyone can achieve anything that they want to if they do the things that are required to make it happen. You may not know how to do it, but your mom and dad know some parts of it. Your teacher knows some part of it. Your sisters and brothers know some parts of it. Your coaches know some parts of it. So if you listen to all those things, you all can get that medal too. So I had a few other medals along the way because of that same reason. Okay?
What are the challenges of being a leader?
is trying to make sure that you're being fair to all, but more important that you're fair to the team, the class, or whatever organization you're part of. Because in most cases, everybody's not going to be happy. Okay? So you have to look and say, okay, your mom and dad can say, what's the best thing for our family? It may not be the best thing for Avery or your family, Ethan, but for everybody in the family, this is the best thing to do. And sometimes when you know that, it's going to be hard for some people to accept. It's a tough decision, but you have to do that. That's one of the tough parts. And the other thing I would say is, no matter how poorly someone or your team performs, is make sure you look at the potential of what they can do and always work towards that potential. And the other thing is try not to be, what do you want to call it, too hard. You want to make sure you don't have somebody that says, you can't do that. I want to be at the point where you can do that, to try to help motivate you. Those are the challenges, especially when your team is not doing well. It's really easy when a team or somebody is doing well.
What leaders do you admire?
Mom and dad, neither one are here anymore. They were really big in my life. And I had a lot in my family. I had a real strong family. My high school wrestling coach, pretty much all of my coaches along the way. I was really blessed to have had some really strong coaches along the way. Presidents of the United States, principals in high schools. My teachers are big-time leaders over the years. They help make me a better person. They have the education to be able to go to college and also support my family and be a good community member. Pretty much anybody who does something well, I have the utmost respect for them. I know they can't do it well unless they've done all the hard work and do all the things I was talking about before, listening, learning from others and those kind of things.
Thank you very much for participating in this interview
Okay.
and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you much there, Avery. Thank you, Ethan.